Having good communication skills is one of the ways that is going to determine the quality of your life, the quality of your friends, and not only that, also the quality of your relationships and your business. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to speak and communicate effectively with a lot of elegance and confidence. Welcome to this platform. My name is Karungi Josephine, and I'm so glad to have you here. If this is your first time, thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you too for coming back to watch this video. So our very first tip to help you communicate effectively and with elegance and confidence is pay attention to the tone of your voice. Yes, the tone of your voice says a lot about your message. And by your tone, I mean, let me say you want to request for something, it is always very good for you to use a calm tone because you are requesting than actually you just saying, "Can you please pass me that bottle?" or "Can you please pass me that bottle?" You get to realize that they're actually different tones. So the tone of your voice will determine how people will interpret the message that you are trying to pass on to them. Yes, attach the tone of your voice to the message that you are trying to pass on to someone. This helps people perceive and interpret this message that you like to pass on to them the right way. And then the other point is that avoid talking too much and repeating yourself over and over again. It is always very important for you to state your points in a few words and minimal ones. Yes, this will help your audience or the people you are speaking to pick your message immediately you speak it than, trying to explain and speaking too much. Yes, if you want to speak effectively, use minimal words. I always like to call it short and sweet. Yes, short words, but when they have sense and when they are full of that message that you would like to pass on to that person or to that audience. Make sure that your voice is at the minimum where you're not so loud and you are not sounding so low that someone can actually hear what you are speaking. You do not have to shout or to be so loud for people to understand the message that you are trying to pass on. If you want someone to listen to you, please do not raise your voice up high. Yes, and let me give it on the perspective of business. Let me say you are talking to a client and you are raising your voice. Do you expect them to really listen to what you are telling them or for them to interpret the message the way you want them to perceive it? Well, no. So do not be so loud and do not be so low. Avoid filler words. The filler words I mean are these, you're making the person you're speaking to wait for what message you want them to hear. Also, this makes your message boring and no one wants to hear boring stuff. So before you speak out there, make sure that you know what you are speaking about and you have made enough research about what you are going to tell someone so that you do not have to stammer, you do not have to use these filler words, for you not to make your message sound boring and for them not to feel like what you are talking about, like you're not sure of it. If you can't avoid it, I've said make sure that you have enough research, you have done enough research about what you are talking about, and that will help people perceive the message that you are trying to pass on effectively. And then another tip to help you speak effectively is that pace your words. And what I mean by pacing your words, think through what you are going to say before even saying it out there. Most of the times it is going to save you from having to make mistakes or having to stammer or having to even use these filler words that I've just talked about. So if you pace your words, that means you have thought through what you are going to speak, especially when it comes to businesses. If you are a business owner and you are trying to convince this particular customer to buy your product, pace your words. Think through, make enough research that is what you are talking really the truth. And then another one is that pay attention to your manner of approach. Yes, the way you approach someone actually matters a lot. It will determine whether they are going to give you a listening ear or they're just going to walk away and not listen. So imagine you're a married couple and maybe your spouse had a bad day and you like to tell them something. Approach them in a calm way. This way they'll be able to get your message and perceive it in a good way. Don't start by quarreling. Don't start by reminding them of what they did not do right. And then another one is that keep your hand gestures to the bare minimum. Yes, now this point actually makes me feel attacked myself, because I'm a person that uses hand gestures a lot when it comes to communication. But you realize that if you overdo it most of the times, it makes people, lose attention from the message that you are trying to pass on, and then just start looking at your hands, or maybe even lose focus. So make sure that if you are communicating or speaking to people, you minimize your hand gestures. Let them not be too much. Like, don't overdo it. That thing of, and then when I was going this and this and this, most of the times if you are overdoing it, it makes people to lose focus. If you are a person that uses hand gestures just like me, sometimes you can just hold your hands. So if you can't avoid it, you can just hold your hands and then communicate. If you feel like doing it, most of the times it is necessary to do it, but do not overdo it. If you don't use hand gestures, well and good for you, you are good to go. And then another tip to help you communicate effectively is that avoid using slangs or swear words, or some call them curses. I usually call them an abusive language. You can't start calling people bitches. You can't start calling people, these slangs that they usually say. Some of them I won't even say them, the F words, those ones. Most of the times, these let people to not take you serious, and also it feels like you are not respecting the audience that you are speaking to. So if you want people to interpret your message the right way and to respect what you are telling them, please stop using slangs, stop using swear words, or what we call an abusive language. So be mindful about your language. It makes a lot of sense if you use the normal language. It makes a lot of sense if you use words that people understand. And then another tip that is going to help you speak effectively with a lot of confidence and elegance is to improve your vocabulary. Yes, now here you do not have to cram all the words in the dictionary. It is very easy these days, because you know what? You can learn new vocabularies or new words by just watching a movie. So while you're watching a movie, do not just watch a movie, but watch while you are actually learning the language that they are using and the smart vocabularies. I mean the good words, not the slangs, something like that. And for people who enjoy reading, while you are reading, do not just read, but also learn new vocabularies, learn new words. Now let's talk about the confidence. How do you gain the confidence to actually speak to someone or to speak to a client? Where do you get that confidence from? The very first tip that will help you build the confidence is to have enough research, or have the words that you are actually going to communicate or share with this person. Most of the times it will help you not to stammer, because now you know the kind of communication that you are going to have. If you are going to have, let me say, a speech, have enough research about what topic you are going to talk about. Yes, and then another thing that affects our confidence is the self-esteem. Make sure that you believe in yourself, that you believe in who you are. And most of the times, how we look affects our self-esteem. So mind about your body language. How you are dressed, how you look like most of the times will affect how you feel. It will affect your self-esteem. It will affect your body language. So if you are going to speak to people, make sure you're feeling good first of all, and make sure you're smart. Most of the times all that affects how we feel about ourselves, and it affects our self-esteem. So make sure that your body language is at tick. You're putting on clothes that are making you feel good, and that you are seated in a comfortable place, that you do not have to, shake yourself. No, make sure that you're feeling good, you are dressed well. This helps boost your self-esteem. So if you have all that in check, that means your confidence will be at a higher level. If you want to start speaking confidently in front of a camera, I have made a video about that, and I'll be linking it in the description down below and tagging it up here so that you go and watch it and learn how to speak confidently in front of a camera and also in front of people. So confidence actually is built over time. If you want to be confident, let me say in a camera, you have to keep recording yourself over and over again. That is how you actually gain the confidence. If you want to speak to big crowds, you start with people from your family, you start with your friends, you start with those small crowds so that they can be able to prepare you and help you practice for the big audiences. If you want to speak to someone, let me say a new person, a spouse, start practicing. You can start talking to yourself in front of a mirror. It looks awkward sometimes, but you are practicing and you are building confidence. Yes. And then the last tip that can actually help you build confidence is that forget about perfectionism. Yes. If you forget about perfectionism, most of the times you will stop judging yourself where you have not looked good, where things have gone wrong, because trust me, it will not always go like how you expect it or like how you want it to be. So forget about being perfect. You may not always be perfect, and if you want to be perfect, most of the times you will end up not doing anything. Yes, so forget about perfectionism. Just go in as you are. Just make sure you are feeling good and looking good, and you know what you're going to communicate about, and that you have also practiced. This is going to help you have enough confidence. You may not be always perfect, but always be yourself. That is the magic that is always behind being confident. We do not all wake up and be confident, but we believe in ourselves. We believe in who we are. We believe in what we are. We know what we are communicating because we have made enough research and we have practiced. We have done things, like we have failed over and over again, but we have kept on practicing and moving. Yes, just like in life, you fail, but still learn from your mistakes and keep going. That is what confidence is all about. Yes, thank you so much for watching this video. If you find it helpful, kindly give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comment section which of these tips that I have shared with you are going to actually practice. Yes, I'll be so glad to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next video.